Welcome back to Autism, Angels, and Energies. Where Kendi, you have a story. You have the list here of what we're going to be going over this session. What do you have there?
Well, first of all, I thought it was kind of important to cover our mission, or what we're
Our mission.
what we were kind of hoping to achieve here.
And go ahead, read that.
Our mission and passion is to bring new concepts and ideas into the existing autism paradigm. I believe that there's enough places that you can get the other stuff. I have some new experiences and information that I would like to bring in and hear from other people if they've also experienced some similar things.
So we want to hear from you guys. One thing that I'm really interested in is autism and telepathy. And when I say telepathy, I think that could go all over the board to different psychic abilities, or, the connection between mother and child is just more of that electromagnetic connection. What's your thoughts on this, Kendi?
I believe that my son, what I've experienced with my son and other individuals that I have worked with that are on the spectrum, they can read people, they have a sense about energy. Even if they're nonverbal, they can sense energetically someone's intentions. Maybe that's a good word for it. Intentions, and I don't know.
Would you say their level of awareness is just keener?
Extremely keen, which would make sense because they're also, hypersensitive to touch and to all the senses, hearing and taste. And
so their awareness would also be hypersensitive to the unseen senses.
Yeah. Right. Definitely.
We'd like to hear from you guys. What's your story when it comes to telepathy and autism and your children?
Yeah.
You've had some.
I've had a lot. A lot of experience with that. And I think my son's intentions are pure, so he can
you could just set it right here.
Sense other people's intentions. If they are authentic and pure. Thank you.
Thank you.
And he can sense other people's energy, and he resonates better or more comfortably with people who are honest, authentic, and kind. And he can sense that in a person way quicker than most people can, and even probably quicker than my dog used to, which, not to take offense to that, I hope no one would take offense, but he has that kind of ability to know where someone's coming from and if they're authentic or not authentic, and if their intentions are pure. So yeah, I think that's an interesting topic to explore, and I also, we would like to do an episode, more in-depth episodes on certain things. The other thing that I think is really worth exploring is the use of flower essences in people with autism, individuals with autism. And a lot of people think that flower essences are like essential oils, and they're not.
They're not. That's a whole, you're right on that. I totally agree.
We need an entire episode on these.
Yes, really. My, my granddaughter's autistic, and she too, there's that telepathy that goes on, but it's these essences that have helped her. And the thing is, this is a part of the next. I wanted to do telepathy and and here we are rolling on the essences, which we do need to do a whole thing with that.
Well, I think
because
what we're saying is we want to do in-depth episodes on telepathy, on I'd like to hear from people about their experiences in
with
reference
the
to telepathy as well.
Let's hear from you guys, and then we'll go ahead, because you know what, they've done in-depth studies at Harvard or Yale.
I think it's Harvard University. If you look up Google the telepathy tapes, and it was they were done, the studies were done, and I think it's ongoing. I think they have a podcast, and I think they're adding to it all the time. But they've done studies with individuals. A doctor from Harvard took this on, and it was proven that they have telepathic abilities. And again, you know, things are gray. They're not always black or white. Somebody might say, oh, that's not true, my kid can't. You know, first of all, you have to have an awareness and a belief in it for it to be seen. And secondly, we're all individuals. What one might do, the other may not.
Right.
We all have our abilities.
But those tests that they did in Harvard, look it up, really.
Crazy.
Really impressive. There's no doubt there's a correlation between telepathy and not just a parent, but with their environment.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So, yeah, I would like to hear from you guys. And then we're going to do another episode just on telepathy and autism. Flower essences. That's another episode. Any of you, we're going to go through it and the different essences that can be used. And, what was it? Some of the other things we wanted to talk about?
We wanted to talk about trauma. And
more in depth with the whole trauma, autism, and look, this is something else. And I think this is traumatic, is that when you have because like I said, we have a 5-year-old autistic girl, and when she's having a meltdown in public, a lot of people do not understand. She is not seeing the world the way they're seeing the world. She cannot be disciplined or not the way they want. And then the parents feel judged.
Sure.
The parents feel judged. Did we touch on this already?
We touched on it. We've touched on a lot of things, but where I think we need to go is kind of saying what we're going to be all about.
Yeah.
And these are the things we're going to be all about. And then we would like to do an episode and go in depth with each of these things that we're mentioning today. We're just kind of getting started, but you know, Mary and I talked about holistic way of being.
Oh, yes.
You know,
that is the way we both live, really.
Right. Well, when people have been approaching autism from a physical perspective, you know, for many, many years now, you know, with the different therapies, and of course in came the diet and the supplementations and all the different things. I have more of a passion to bring, as it says in our mission, new concept, new ideas into the paradigm of autism. And I've experienced the most unbelievable healing and changes in my son with autism using these modalities.
Unconventional methods. And I want to say that we're not licensed to diagnose or prescribe. Heck no. But both of us have used various essences, make our own essences, blend essences. They are subtle, but they are powerful and they work. So do you want to close now? And what's our next segment going to be on? What would you like to?
I don't know. One of these things. I mean, we would like to hear from you. What interests you?
That's it.
I mean, the other thing is like with that holistic way of being. You know, like Mary was saying, mind, body, spirit. A lot of the healing I saw in my son was based on healing his mind, his body, and his spirit. But a lot of it was his different than what we see people offering as treatments in autism in the third dimension now. And my son was severely traumatized, and people did not think he could possibly recover from.
You know what? Let that be our while we're listening to you after we're done eating lunch. This is about trauma. Our next one will be about autism and trauma. That would be a great start for you to tell how you've worked with Kenny all the ways to a certain point, and then boom, this major trauma happened. Would you want to close right now? And then as soon as we're done here, we'll do our next.
That
and
sounds
talk
great.
just about trauma.
That sounds
and
good.
Please, we'd like to hear from you. Thank you very much, and God bless. Go ahead, Kenny.
Thank you.